Hello. Today I'm going to do something a little different. And what the thought was is that I wanted to show you all how some of you who have never, um, you know, have never really delved into psychic things, or for those of you who don't think that you are psychic, or for those of you who think you might be psychic, or for people just curious about tarot decks. So I thought what I would do is I was initially going to do a live video, but then I decided, well, I might do that later still, but right now I'm going to do this recorded video. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose some cards, a certain number amount of cards. In fact, let me go put on some music. Okay, so I've got some music on in the background. And now I'm going to light some sage first before I get started. I always like to light some sage before I deal any cards. I like to cleanse my cards after or before every time I use them. And so now I'm going to sage this iPhone so that nothing but light, love, and truth comes through. Now I'm going to take my cards out, vintage tarot deck here. These are not the ones I use for my personal readings, though, but they are a very cherished deck because I've had them since the 90s when I first bought them at a spiritual bookstore here in 1995. And so I'll show you those. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick a number from 1 to 9. Stick with that number, okay? Now, that number will come into play when I deal these cards. I'm going to deal 9 cards, and then I'm going to read each of the cards and their meaning. I'm not going to read the typical tarot reading. I'm going to read it, like I said, 1 through 9. I'm just going to shuffle the cards and ask Spirit, ask God to be with us, ask Archangel Michael to be with us now, so that only the purest energy can be made available to us now. And Spirit will guide me to choose 9 cards. So remember the number that you chose and keep that number. Write it down if you need to remember it. And so I'm going to shuffle this deck that I have, this vintage deck that I love, and this is the deck. I have multiple decks, and I'm going to do this with other decks. I believe I'm going to make other videos in the same way, but with other decks as well. I have some decks that are crystals and stones decks. I have some decks that are archetype decks. I have some decks from Doreen Virtue and James Van Praagh, and but today I'm using these particular cards, and so now I'm going to shuffle them, and I'm always guided on which cards to choose. And since it's a process, I'm going to go ahead and just shuffle these, and then when I'm done, I will come right back. Okay, I'm back. So now I'm going to lay them out, and then we're going to take a look at them each. And at the very least, even if you don't believe in tarot decks, at the very least, what they do is they allow us to look at things differently. Particularly these cards. All right. So the first number 1 card, if you chose number 1 from your numbers that I asked you to choose a number from 1 to 9, if you chose number 1, this is your card. This is the 5 of Wands grounding card. 5 of Wands and grounding card. And it is a Wands card, therefore it is a fiery sign as far as the elements, as far as the suits, the tarot, minor arcana, and the elements also. And so this card looks like a lot of lush greenery, and we have 5 of these wands pointing upwards. The middle one is looking like a star. Something is shining on it. And it means kind of competition for material gains. It could also mean that you will be receiving some material gain, manifestation, magic. And so just looking at the image in the card is also a sort of code, as well as the tarot reader's divination of it is also what the client sees in the picture as well. And so that's the 5 of Wands if you chose number 1. If you chose number 2 as your number, then this card is for you. This is the Queen of Swords, the imagination card. And that's the Queen of Swords. She's walking through a field with some, looks like blue or purple flowers. And she's got a rabbit below her knee there. This could mean, it could mean some strife as far as a relationship. It suggests a familiarity of sadness, sorrow, loss, that kind of thing. And that is number 2. Next, if you chose number 3, this is your card. This is materialism, and it's 4 of discs, and it's in the upside down reversed stage. So 4 of discs. When it's upside down, it could mean delay or opposition of material things. So delay or opposition of material goods or money, or it can mean gifts or even an inheritance is sort of upside down right now. And card number 4, if you chose card number 4, is the High Priestess card. I like this card. It's rather beautiful. I like the colors in it, and the picture is really pretty. It's a lot of purples and white. And this would stand for sort of more like the future yet unrevealed. This could stand for a woman if you have your mind on a woman, or if you are a woman and you don't have your mind on another woman, this could be stand for you as well. It's all the feminine qualities, all of these yin qualities like silence and wisdom, inner knowing. Psychic abilities fall under this category, I would say. So that's card number 3. or excuse me, card number 4. Card number 5 is the Ace of Cups. And I love this card. This is the Ace of Cups. This is the spirituality card in this deck. And it's got a lovely gold chalice there, and it looks like berries or flower buds are blooming. There's a rainbow in the background, so that's very positive. Ace of Cups. This stands for abundance, fertility, content, joy, and nourishment, all of those wonderful things. If you chose card number 5. This is the Green Man. The Green Man, or the Fool in the Rider-Waite deck. In this particular deck, it is the Green Man. And you can see there's berries on the top there, and what looks like pine cones on the bottom, and lilies. And this card could mean extravagance, even intoxication, delirium, folly, foolishness. That's what this could mean. Sort of like not really paying attention to what you're doing, kind of going blindly through life, just sort of overabundance of things and just not really having a direction. If you chose this card. This is card number 6, if you chose this card. Card number 7 is the Moon card. The Moon. And this, again, we have some sort of flowers, and we have beautiful, beautiful sky in the background, and bats, and we got more flowers, and we have beautiful big stones. It could mean hidden things, darkness. It could mean deception, hidden things. You need to take a look at something that might be not come to the surface yet, and it also could include your shadow self. There might be some things you need to work on in order to move to the next level up. So it's the Moon, if you chose card number 7. If you chose card number 8, this is the Web. The Web, and it's upside down. I'll show it to you right side up so you can see what it looks like first. It shows a big web, a big spider up in the corner, and berries up in the corner. And then this woman here with this knife, and the dog, and these acorns on the bottom. And in the Rider-Waite deck, this is the Justice card. This card could mean rightness, equity, probity, some sort of executive order, some sort of justice is on the horizon. If you chose card number 8, and it's upside down, so when it's upside down, it could mean the law, bigotry, bias, excessive severity, even overly severe punishment is going on, either to you or you are doing that. So, I would tend to get this card a lot on myself if I was judging too much other people, or even judging my own behaviors too much. This is a card that can come up sometimes for me, so take that into consideration. And then lastly, number 9 is the 9 of Wands. is the last card, number 9, so it's fitting. It's the 9 of Wands. It just worked out that way. Again, it's a fire element card. If it's right side up, it means that you are going to be facing any upcoming challenges boldly and centeredly. So it's a good card. And in this particular deck, it means recovery. So what you have had to go through, you are now going to be in the recovery stage. You will recover from this issue. So that's a card of hope if you chose number 9 card. I accidentally cut myself off at the end there, but so that was the 9 cards, and I hope that this was helpful for you in some way. And I'll be doing this again with the other decks that I mentioned earlier. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy this or would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it. And if you enjoyed this, give me a like down below, and we'll talk to you soon on the next video. And leave a comment if you'd like. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.